All right, court's on the record, Commerce City Municipal Court for the afternoon session of July 28th of 2021. For the people that are on mute, please put your devices on mute. Leave them on mute until I call your case. I will direct you when to unmute your device. For the people that are in the courtroom, when I call your name, I'm going to ask you to come forward to one of the three seats or one of the three stations in the front. I really don't like the people sitting in the back over there. Yeah, let's move the people from the back to the seats that are spaced in the front. We have them spaced like that for a reason. Right, well, except that we don't, I mean, for me, the seats that are there tell me how many people are in the courtroom at once. So, you know, what do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, we're fine for now. But that's why we have the number of seats set out the way we do. All right. All right, so for the people that are in the courtroom, when I call your name, I'm going to direct you to come forward to one of the stations. While you're at the stations, I do need you to speak loudly and clearly. Mauricio Moreno, ¿se puede arrimar a la estación número 1, por favor? Right, I have a document that alleges that on June 25th of 2021 at 6 o'clock in the morning in the area of 7120 Jasmine Street, it's alleged that you committed the offense of creating an unreasonable noise. The city attorney is agreeing to dismiss this case against you. There are no remaining issues to be addressed in your case. If you'll go to the windows in the lobby to see my clerks, they will give you a copy of the order of dismissal, and then you are free to leave. Do you have any questions? All right, go ahead and go to the windows and see my clerk. Okay, Chakri White, if you would come to station number 2, the lectern in the middle. Good afternoon. All right, I have a document that indicates that if you plead guilty to the added reduced charge of improper lane use, this is a 3-point violation. The city attorney will dismiss both of the original charges from June 18th of 2021 at 1 o'clock in the morning in the area of 81st and Highway 2. That's the speeding and the insurance charge. Is this how you wish to resolve your case today, by pleading guilty to this reduced charge? Did you watch the advisement of rights video? Did you watch the advisement of rights video? Okay. Do you understand that if I accept your guilty plea to this reduced charge, you're waiving all of those rights that I advised you of in that video? Has anyone forced you or coerced you to get you to plead guilty to this reduced charge against your will? I'm sorry? Has anyone made any promise to you to get you to enter this guilty plea? Are you currently under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medications that affect your ability to understand what you're doing in court today? Then to the added reduced charge of improper lane use, a 3-point violation on June 18th of 2021 here in Commerce City. How do you plead, guilty or not guilty? I'll accept your guilty plea. Is there anything you want me to take into consideration before I impose the sentence against you? No? All right, your scheduled fine's $160. I'm going to reduce your fine to $100 plus surcharges plus court costs. When you go to the windows in the lobby to see my clerks, they're going to tell you what the total is. If you need them to, they'll work out a payment plan. Do you have any questions? All right, go ahead and go out the double doors, make the left before the metal detector to get to my clerks. Okay, Magali Rodriguez Ornelas, if you would come to station number 3, please. Okay, the city attorney is satisfied that you successfully completed everything that was requested. He indicates that as a result, he's offering that if you plead guilty to a 0-point charge of driving a vehicle with an obstructed windshield, he will dismiss the original red light violation charge against you. Is this how you wish to resolve your case today? Okay. Are you her mother? Do you understand the original charge filed against your daughter? Do you understand the reduced charge that the city attorney is offering her in an effort to resolve this case? Do you agree that your daughter is acting in her best interest by accepting this resolution and pleading guilty to this reduced charge? Thank you. Did you watch the advisement of rights video today or the last time you were here? This time or the last time? Okay. Do you understand that if I accept your guilty plea to this reduced charge, you're waiving all of those rights that I advised you of in that video? Has anyone forced you or coerced you to get you to plead guilty to this reduced charge against your will? Has anyone made any promise to you to get you to enter this guilty plea? Are you currently under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medications that affect your ability to understand what you're doing in court today? Then to the added reduced charge of driving a vehicle with an obstructed windshield, a 0-point violation on April 4th of 2021 here in Commerce City. How do you plead, guilty or not guilty? I'll accept your guilty plea. Is there anything you want to tell me that I should take into consideration before I impose the sentence against you? Is there anything you want to tell me that I should take into consideration? All right. Because you did the class in the community service, I'm not going to impose a fine. There's $29 in court costs that I'm going to assess against you. When you go to the windows in the lobby to see my clerk, make arrangements to pay the $29, and that'll close this case, okay? All right. Do you have any questions? No? All right. Go ahead and go to the windows, see my clerk. Thank you. All right. Calling the case of Jeffrey Red. I don't know who's representing.
Brian DeBush.
Hi, Mr. DeBush. Oh, okay,
Hi.
I do see that. Rather than go out of the screen and do another one, could you just give me your registration number?
For the record, 28593 on behalf of Mr. Red.
All right, I have a proposed disposition that indicates that if on his behalf you tender plea of guilty to the added reduced charge of driving a defective vehicle and his agreement to attend a level 1 driving class, the city attorney will dismiss the original speeding charge. Is that a correct statement of the proposed disposition?
It is correct.
Okay, you're representing that you have your client's authority to enter this plea on his behalf?
He indicated expressly he agrees to such plea.
All right, and you're waiving his appearance pursuant to 16.7.202?
I would so waive.
I'll grant that waiver.
Thank you.
Since we're not doing anything in writing, everything is done orally, to the added reduced charge of driving a defective vehicle, a 2-point violation, on June 2nd of 2021, here in Commerce City, and on behalf of Mr. Redd, how do you plead, guilty or not guilty?
Guilty on the client's behalf, Judge.
I'll accept the plea.
Thank you.
Anything by way of mitigation?
Only this. I thought it was a case where two vehicles were traveling next to each other down a highway. The officer from the video that I saw tracked the front vehicle going 102, but didn't have a lock on my client's vehicle. And I think he was mistaken about the speed estimate. Nevertheless, my client's willing to take a 2-point as a compromise.
All right. There's nothing in aggravation on the driving record.
No, there should not be.
Yeah, the most recent ticket is from January of 2020. I only go back 1 year, so that's not a problem.
Good.
All right, so scheduled fine would be $160. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to impose the $160 fine, but I'm going to suspend 100 of it because pursuant to the agreement, he's going to be ordered to do the level 1 driving class, and I'll make a note, online is okay with me.
Good, thank you.
There's going to be surcharges and court costs added. Mr. DeBosch, when you leave the meeting, my clerk is going to reach out to you by email. She'll provide you the total of the non-suspended portions of the fines and costs, a stay of execution for your client to pay that. She'll give you the referral to the online or to the level 1 driving class and a deadline. The deadline's going to be in about 6 weeks. That'll give your client plenty of time to get it done. Obviously, make sure your client gets the class signed up for right away, gets a certificate of completion to us by the deadline, and that should take care of everything.
Very good.
The email will come to you either later today or tomorrow, Friday at the latest. Do you have any questions?
I do not, thank you.
Do you have any other matters before me this afternoon?
I don't, unfortunately. Thank you, though.
No, that's fine. Okay, then you are free to leave the meeting. Have a good afternoon.
You too, Judge. All right, on the record regarding Wyatt Stimats.
Yes, sir.
All right, first I have a request to set aside the default that entered when you failed to appear on July 14th. I'm going to grant that.
Thank you.
All right, let's see, what else do I have? All right, I have a document that alleges that on June 2nd of 2021 at about 8:18 in the afternoon, in the morning, in the area of 56th and Sand Creek, that you got charged with failure to yield right-of-way at a stop sign, and this was resulting in an accident. Do you understand what it is you're accused of doing?
Yes, sir.
Did you watch the advisement of rights video?
Yes, sir.
All right, the city attorney says that you want to set this matter over for a pretrial conference in order to consult with an attorney prior to entering a plea. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, so we'll go ahead and set this for a pretrial conference. My clerks are going to reach out to you by email later today. If you wish to get copies of the police officer's notes or the reports, Ask my clerks and they can provide those to you. They'll come in real handy when you consult with an attorney. We'll set this court date out approximately 30 days. So keep an eye out for an email. It'll either come today, tomorrow, or Friday at the latest, giving you the new court date. Do you have any questions?
No, sir.
Okay, you can go ahead and leave the meeting then.
Thanks, sir.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Okay, that'll give me a chance to figure out who the attorney is on this case. There it is. Okay. Leonor Rodríguez Madrigal, ¿dónde estás? ¿Me puedes oír de ahí? Actually, Felix, I guess it'd be better if... We're going to reset your case for a new court date. If you'll stop at the windows in the lobby, my clerks will give you the notice of the new court date, and then we'll see you the next time, and hopefully you'll be feeling better on that date. Uh-huh. All right, Mr. Ramirez, if you would unmute your device.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon. I had a lot of notes telling me there was an attorney, but not a single note telling me who the attorney was. Okay, so let's see what we've got here. I have a document that indicates if on behalf of Maria Castillo Mendez, you tender a plea of guilty to the added reduced charge of driving a vehicle with a defective headlight, the city attorney will dismiss the original charge from March 26th of 2021 at 4 o'clock in the afternoon in the area of 88th and Highway 2 here in Commerce City. Is that a correct statement of the proposed disposition?
Yes, Your Honor, it is.
Okay. And you representing to the court that you have your client's authority to enter this plea on her behalf?
Yes, Your Honor, and I'd ask you to waive her appearance under 167202.
Thank you. I'll waive it. All right, then to the added reduced charge of driving a vehicle with a defective headlight, a 1-point violation on March 26th of 2021 on behalf of Maria Castillo Mendez. How do you plead, guilty or not guilty?
Guilty, Your Honor.
I'll accept the plea. Anything by way of mitigation?
Simply she has a clean record, Your Honor.
Well, that's actually not correct.
Oh, I apologize, Your Honor.
It's all right. The good news is the 2019 convictions are slightly older than what I consider for aggravating purposes.
To your red light.
Second.
Sorry, Your Honor.
Shoot.
Hello?
Yeah, sir, go ahead and leave your device on mute for now. I'm dealing with another case. There it is. All right, Mr. Ramirez, the only aggravating factor I have is the crash, and it appears that only your client was injured. Does that sound correct?
Yes, Your Honor, that is correct.
All right. For schedule fine, $240. Again, there's nothing in aggravation on the driving record. I can only reduce this one down to $160 plus surcharges plus court costs. My clerks are going to reach out to you by email. They'll let you know what the total is and work out a state of execution for you. If your client needs to work out payment plans, she can contact my clerks and set that up.
Thank you very much, Your Honor. I appreciate it.
Okay, is there anything else I need to address on this case?
No, Your Honor, that's my only case today.
All right, you have a good afternoon. You can go ahead and leave the meeting. Keep an eye out for that email. It'll happen between now and Friday, okay?
All right, thank you, Your Honor, very much.
Thank you.
All right, have a good day.
You too. Jason Neal, if you would come to station number 1, please. Good afternoon. I have a document that indicates that if you plead guilty to the added reduced charge of improper lane use, that's a 3-point violation, the city attorney will dismiss the original speeding charge from July 11th of 2021, shortly before 3:30 in the afternoon, in the area of 13000 East 120th Avenue here in Commerce City. Is this how you wish to resolve your case today? Did you watch the advisement of rights video? Do you understand that if I accept your guilty plea to this reduced charge, you're waiving all of those rights that I advised you of in that video? Has anyone forced you or coerced you to get you to plead guilty to this reduced charge against your will? Has anyone made any promise to you to get you to enter this guilty plea? Are you currently under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medications that affect your ability to understand what you're doing in court today? Then to the added reduced charge of improper lane use, a 3-point violation, on July 11th of 2021 here in Commerce City, how do you plead, guilty or not guilty? I'll accept your guilty plea. Anything you want me to take into consideration before I impose the sentence against you? Well, obviously you live up in that neighborhood, so you know, I don't need to tell you you can't go that fast on that roadway. All right. Nothing in aggravation on your driving record. Your schedule fine's $160. I can only reduce yours to $120 plus surcharges and court costs. When you go to the windows in the lobby to see my clerks, they'll tell you the total. If you need them to, they'll work out a payment plan for you. Do you have any questions? All right, go ahead and go to the window, see my clerk. Dylan Rico, si te puedes arrimar a estación número 2, por favor. Good afternoon. I have a document that indicates that if you plead guilty to the added reduced charge of driving a defective vehicle, a 2-point violation, the city attorney will dismiss the original speeding charge from June 9th of 2021 at about 7:15 in the morning in the area of 76th and Highway 2 here in Commerce City. Is this how you wish to resolve your case today? Did you watch the advisement of rights video? Do you understand that if I accept your guilty plea to this reduced charge, you're renouncing all of those rights that I advised you of in that video? Has anyone forced you or coerced you to get you to plead guilty to this reduced charge against your will? Has anyone made any promise to you to get you to enter this guilty plea? No. Are you currently under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medications that affect your ability to understand what you're doing in court today? Then to the added reduced charge of driving a defective vehicle on June 9th of 2021 here in Commerce City, how do you plead? Guilty or not guilty? I'll accept your guilty plea. Is there anything you want me to take into consideration before I impose the sentence against you?
I just wanted to say that I got confused what the speed was with signs at the time.
All right. I show that there's an address here on Ivy Street, 68th and Ivy. Who lives there?
That was my old address. I've changed address.
Okay. So do you live in Albuquerque now?
No, I changed, I lived somewhere else in Denver.
Okay. And then I show that the license for the truck was from Texas. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's what I bought when I bought my truck. The gentleman that sold me the truck had those plates.
Okay, so have you gotten it registered in Colorado yet?
I still have to register the truck in Colorado.
All right. Your scheduled fine in this case is $80. There's nothing in aggravation on your driving record. I'm going to reduce your fine to $50 plus surcharges plus court costs. When you go to the windows in the lobby to see my clerks, they will tell you the total. If you need them to, they'll work out a payment plan for you. Do you have any questions?
No, that would be all.
All right, go ahead and go to the windows to see my clerk. Okay, Adan Tarango, if you would come to station 3, please. All right, the city attorney says that even though he only did half of the community service, he's willing to accept that along with the class that you did and offer that if you plead guilty to the added reduced charge of driving a vehicle with an obstructed windshield, a 0-point violation, he will dismiss the stop sign or the stop at the red light charge against you from April 4th of 2021 at 2 o'clock in the morning in the area of 104th and Potomac Street here in Commerce City. Is this how you wish to resolve your case today, by pleading guilty to this reduced charge? Okay. Are you his mother? Do you understand the original charge that was filed against your son? Do you understand what the city attorney is offering your son in an effort to resolve this case? Do you agree that your son is acting in his best interest by accepting this resolution and pleading guilty to this reduced charge? Okay. Now, Don, did you watch the advisement of rights video last time you were here or this time? Okay. Do you understand that if I accept your guilty plea to this reduced charge, you are renouncing all of those rights that I advised you of in that video? Has anyone forced you or coerced you to get you to plead guilty to this reduced charge against your will? Has anyone made any promise to you to get you to enter this guilty plea? Are you currently under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medications that affect your ability to understand what you're doing in court today? Then to the added reduced charge of driving a vehicle with an obstructed windshield on April 4th of 2021, a 0-point violation. How do you plead, guilty or not guilty? I'll accept your guilty plea. Is there anything you want to tell me that I should take into consideration before I impose the sentence against you? Is there anything you want to tell me about your son that I should take into consideration? All right. I'm going to impose a $25 fine plus surcharges plus court costs. If you go to the windows in the lobby, see my clerks. They will tell you the total. If you need them to, they'll work out payment plan for you. Do you have any questions? All right, go to the window, see my clerk. Mm-hmm. One Siementhal, if you would come to station number 1, please. Good afternoon. I have a document that indicates that if you plead guilty to the added reduced charge of driving a defective vehicle, a 2-point violation, and attend the Alive at 25 class, the city attorney will dismiss the original charge against you from June 18th of 2021 at 3:51 in the afternoon in the area of 120th and Buckley Road here in Commerce City. Is this how you wish to resolve your case today? All right. Did you watch the advisement of rights video? Do you understand that if I accept your guilty plea to this reduced charge, you're waiving all of those rights that I advised you of in that video? Has anyone forced you or coerced you to get you to plead guilty to this reduced charge against your will? Has anyone made any promise to you to get you to enter this guilty plea? Are you currently under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medications that affect your ability to understand what you're doing in court today? Then to the added reduced charge of driving a defective vehicle, a 2-point violation on June 18th of 2021 here in Commerce City. How do you plead, guilty or not guilty? I'll accept your guilty plea. Is there anything you want me to take into consideration before I impose the sentence against you? and I may have already asked this, but I'm going to do it again to make a clear record. To the added reduced charge of driving a defective vehicle, a 3-point violation on June 18th of 2021 here in Commerce City. How do you plead, guilty or not guilty? And was there anything you wanted me to take into consideration before I imposed the sentence against you? Well, you got to know you can't go on a dirt shoulder to pass other cars just to make a right turn. I mean, if there's a right turn lane, you move into the lane. If there's no lane, then you have to wait. It's really that simple, okay? Hopefully you'll learn some of the things you need to learn while doing this class. All right, there's nothing in aggravation on your driving record. Luckily, nobody was hurt. There was no collision or anything. That's just fortune. All right, your schedule fine's $120. I'm going to impose the $120, but I'm going to suspend 80 of it because I want you to learn from this more than I want to punish you. All right, so give me just a minute. When you go to the windows in the lobby to see my clerks, they're going to make the arrangements for you to pay the $40 fine plus surcharges and court costs. They'll give you a referral to the people that put on the class. You're going to get a deadline of about 6 weeks within which to complete the class. Contact the people right away, get signed up, because that class is getting really filled, especially right before school starts again for the younger people. Get the class done. Make sure you get the proof of completion submitted to my court by the deadline. That's your responsibility to make sure we get that certificate of completion. Send a copy of that certificate to your insurance agent. You never know, they might give you a discount for doing a driving class. The other copy you need to hold on to, because at some point if you end up having to go down to DMV, it's good to have a copy of a proof of completion of a driving class when you talk to the people down there. So original for the court, copy for your insurance, copy for DMV just in case. Do you have any questions? Okay, go ahead and go to the windows, see my clerks, they'll take care of it. Uh-huh. Carlos de Luna, si te puedes dar más estación número 2. All right, I have a document that indicates that you're pleading guilty to committing the offense of driving without proof of insurance when required, a 4-point violation on July 25th of 2021, shortly before 2 o'clock in the afternoon, in the area of Gateway Road and Prairie Parkway here in Commerce City. Is this how you wish to resolve your case today, by pleading guilty to this charge? Did you watch the advisement of rights video? Do you understand that if I accept your guilty plea to this reduced charge, you're renouncing all of those rights that you were advised of in that video? Has anyone forced you or coerced you to get you to plead guilty to this charge against your will? Has anyone made any promise to you to get you to enter this guilty plea? Are you currently under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medications that affect your ability to understand what you're doing in court today? Then to the charge of driving without proof of insurance, a 4-point violation on July 25th of 2021 here in Commerce City. How do you plead, guilty or not guilty? Mr. Gollin, could you come in, please? Is he in there? I'm looking through docket management, and I see a card of insurance for a non-owner in his name. Even though, oh, so he paid for a period, but not all in advance? Okay. Okay. That's fine. All right, is there anything you want me to take into consideration before I impose the sentence against you?
I bought the car on Saturday, and it made it easy for me to just drive the car on Sunday, given that I had insurance. Well, and then someone had shut me off, and that's when the accident occurred. It looked like he was recklessly driving, and the accident.
No, I understand that you're the victim of the accident. That's not the issue. Under Colorado law, it's required that you maintain proper insurance coverage at all times when you put a car on the roadway. And it looked like this insurance wasn't in effect to cover you for that vehicle at the time. All right, I'm going to impose a fine of $100 plus court costs and surcharges. You need to understand under Colorado law, if you receive a second charge of driving without proof of insurance within 5 years of this one, the mandatory minimum fine is effectively $500. If you pick up 2 more offenses within the next 5 years, the mandatory minimum fine is effectively $1,000. Under Colorado law, it's important for you to understand that it's the driver's responsibility to make sure any vehicle they're driving is properly insured the minute they put it on a public roadway. Not knowing your insurance is lapsed is not a defense to the charge. If it's not your vehicle and the owner tells you it's insured and it turns out not to be, that's not a defense to the charge either. It's the driver's responsibility to make sure. When you go to the windows, my clerks will tell you the total. They'll work out a payment arrangement for you. Do you have any questions? Okay. Go ahead, go to the window, see my clerk. Adriana Pacias, if you would come to station number 3. Estación número 3, por favor. Good afternoon. I have a document that indicates that if you plead guilty to the added reduced charge of improper lane use, this is a 3-point violation. The city attorney will dismiss both of the original charges against you from April 26th of 2021 at about 8 o'clock at night in the 72nd and Mill Road here in Commerce City. Is this how you wish to resolve your case today?
Yes.
Did you watch the advisement of rights video? All right. Do you understand that if I accept your guilty plea to this reduced charge, you're renouncing all of those rights that you were advised of in that video? Has anyone forced you or coerced you to get you to plead guilty to this reduced charge against your will? No. Has anyone made any promise to you to get you to enter this guilty plea? Are you currently under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medications that affect your ability to understand what you're doing in court today? Then to the added reduced charge of improper lane use, a 3-point violation on April 26th of 2021 here in Commerce City. How do you plead, guilty or not guilty? I will accept your guilty plea. Is there anything you want me to take into consideration before I impose the sentence against you? I'm glad you did too, because this is a much less serious charge than what you were accepting the last time you were here. All right, your scheduled fine is $80. I'm sorry, I'm imposing a fine of $80 plus charges plus court costs. If you go to the windows in the lobby to see my clerks, they will tell you the total, and if you need them to, they'll work out a payment plan for you. Do you have any questions? All right, go ahead and go to the windows to see my clerk. For the trial? Yes. Okay, well, I'm going to take care of Alan Redfern first on video to give you a chance to clean up, and I think Mr. Starkovich is waiting for me to call it. Court's on the record regarding Alan Redfern. Mr. Starkovich, are you still there? Mr. Starkovich? I'm not on mute. Oh, there you are. No, that's Adam. Adam, are you able to hear me? Just nod. Can you hear me? Mr. Gottlieb? Can you hear me on your device? I just want to make sure, because I'm trying to reach Mr. Starkovich. He's been holding for quite a while. Okay, Mr. Starkovich, you can unmute.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Okay, good. There you are. All right. Calling the record on the record, Alan Redfern, case number 7553. This is scheduled for a pretrial on today's date. Have you had any contact with him?
Your Honor, no, I have not. I've tried the number that's listed on the summons ticket and the notice of next court date. He does answer. It goes to a voicemail. It says his name, but the voicemail box is full. So I haven't been able to leave any messages, and it's been full now for a few weeks. It then allows me to send a text message, and I've sent messages, but no replies.
All right, thank you. All right. I have a note that says Mr. Starr is your client as well.
Oh, that's Charles Thompson. He used my Zoom link to log in.
Okay. Oh, it's under Jacob Starr? Okay. And what's his name?
Charles Thompson?
Oh, okay. That's why I couldn't understand the note here. All right. So before I move on to his case, I'm going to go ahead and FTA Mr. Redfern. Warrant will issue for his arrest. Bond will be set in the amount of $300 personal recognizance bond.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. I may have said the bond wrong. Give me just a moment. Yeah, the bond's going to be $400 personal recognizance bond for Mr. Redfern. All right. And now I'll be on the record regarding Charles Thompson. And Mr. Starkovich, go ahead and make your entry.
Jacob Starkovich, 32184, appearing on behalf of Mr. Thompson as court-appointed counsel, and we both appear via Zoom.
This one, the city attorney says he's dismissing. Is that your understanding as well?
That is correct, Your Honor.
All right. Good afternoon, Mr. Thompson.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Okay. City attorney's dismissing this case against you. It looks like you successfully completed all of the requests that he made in exchange for the dismissal. I'm going to go ahead and enter the order of dismissal. And Mr. Starkovich, will you advise Mr. Thompson about what needed to be done to do the petition to seal so that I can seal the record of this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
And are you asking the court to waive the filing fee?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, give me just a moment here. I just want to make sure I'm not missing something. Oh, this is a written one. Give me a second. All right, so I'll go ahead and enter the order of dismissal on today's date. Mr. Starkovich will be able to get a copy of that to you fairly soon, Mr. Thompson. I'm going to go ahead and authorize the sealing of this record on receipt of a petition to seal the record. I will note on the file that the filing fee is waived. Is there anything else I need to address, Mr. Starkovich?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Thompson, just keep in contact with Mr. Starkovich. He'll get you what you need to show that the case is dismissed and sealed. All right?
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. You guys have a good afternoon.
And
You too.
thank you, Mr. Starkovich.
Yes, sir.
All righty.
Okay, you guys can go ahead and leave the meeting. At Kings Rojas Ortega. Oh, okay, this is the attorney one. Is the defendant here, though? Okay. And the attorney isn't on Zoom, he's just accessible by phone? Who is it? Oh, no, I know who the defendant is. Who's the attorney? I'm looking for the entry. Okay. I usually look in the document for the entry of appearance. Is there someplace else I can look?
Yeah, you hit attorneys right here,
All right. Oh, okay.
that'll tell you who they are.
That saves me a lot of looking.
Or if you're right here,
Uh-huh.
click that, and then if you scroll down, they should be right there too.
Okay. All right, well, I'll enter the order of dismissal. No, I didn't know that. I usually look through the documents for the entry of appearance. Yeah, have you noticed? Okay, so this is back to in person, and we don't have anybody left on Zoom, right? No. All right. Are we on station 1 or 2?
I cleaned them all, so 1.
Okay. Christopher Nuanes, if you would come to station number 1, please. Good afternoon. All right, I have a document that indicates that if you plead guilty to the added reduced charge of driving a defective vehicle, this is a 2-point violation. The city attorney... Wait a minute. All right, I'm missing something. He's saying no objection to setting aside the default that entered on July 22nd, and I show that we received a payment. Carmen, when you finish that call, could you come here? Can you come here? Okay, I'm in the ROAs, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I'm looking for this default, and it's not there. Okay? What is there is payment received,
Oh, yeah.
which doesn't make any sense to me.
Nope, he paid it. Why is he here? On ePay. He paid it over the internet. Who said him?
Huh?
Oh, this is Christopher. I don't know, we have to ask Christopher why he said it.
Okay, did you realize that you paid for this already? Are you Christopher Nuanes? Yeah. He already paid for it, and I didn't failure. According to this, he says it's a failure to appear on July 22nd, last week. But I don't show him. Oh, it's because we have the wrong case number on the one that is entered. The guy that appeared last week, it's either, we've got the same case with 2 case numbers. Okay, yes. They entered this in case number 9082 under Tyler Crooks, but Tyler Crooks should have been 9086. Have a seat, just right there at one of the first chairs.
People in there, everybody's at the desk, nobody's answering the phone.
Okay, it's because this case number's wrong. Adam wrote it wrong. It's supposed to be 9086. He wrote 9082, which is something completely different. Okay, now I think I can figure this thing out. Okay. And Mr. Nuanez, go ahead and come back up to the lectern, or to station one. All right. Just the prosecutor wrote the wrong case number down, and that wasn't that was a person that was actually here last week. All right. In your case, first there's a failure to appear on July 22nd of 2021. And I did enter the default against you. I'll set that aside. Adam wrote the wrong case number. That's what the problem was, Chris. You did this one. That's him. Adam wrote that, and that person was here. So I found it. So we're good. Yes. All right, so the first thing I'm doing is setting aside the default that entered when you failed to appear last week. All right, the second document I have says that if you plead guilty to the added reduced charge of driving a defective vehicle, a 2-point violation, the city attorney will dismiss the original speeding charge from May 29th of 2021 at 12:12 in the morning in the area of 90th and Highway 2 here in Commerce City. Is this how you wish to resolve your case today, by pleading guilty to this charge? Did you watch the advisement of rights video? Do you understand that if I accept your guilty plea to this reduced charge, you're waiving all of the rights that I advised you of in that video? All right. Has anyone forced you or coerced you to get you to plead guilty to this charge against your will? Has anyone made any promise to you to get you to enter this guilty plea? Are you currently under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medications that affect your ability to understand what you're doing in court today? Then to the added reduced charge of driving a defective vehicle, a 2-point violation on May 29th of 2021 here in Commerce City. How do you plead, guilty or not guilty? I'll accept your guilty plea. Anything you want to tell me that I should take into consideration before I impose a sentence against you? Okay, your driving record shows a ticket from Thornton from March of this year. Is that entry correct? All right, your schedule fine is $120. I'm going to reduce your fine to $80 plus surcharges plus court costs. When you go to the windows in the lobby to see my clerks, they will tell you the total workout payment arrangements. Do you have any questions? All right, go ahead and go to the windows, see my clerks. They'll take care of it. Are you Alan Redfern? Okay, Mr. Redfern, your attorney called, said that she was stuck in traffic and running late. Huh? Oh, never mind. That's a different person. Oh, okay. Oh, as opposed to... You call him up. That's fine. Okay, I'm sorry. So we're going to try and get Mr. Starkovich back on our Zoom meeting and see if we can get something accomplished today. Okay, and do you have a phone, or can you reach him? Okay, you don't need the Zoom app. Just call Mr. Starkovich. Call Mr. Starkovich. Do you have his number? Yeah, stop at the window in the lobby, see my clerks, they'll give you his number. They're also the ones that are going to try and let me know when he's available by Zoom, okay? Okay, so Carmenata's client is who, Rojas or Yost? Oh, you're calling, it's Cain Rojas Ortega. Okay. And Yost is the one that's scheduled for trial. They both were, actually. All right. Juan Ramirez, if you would come to station number 2, that's the lectern in the middle. All right, the city attorney is dismissing this case against you. If you'll go to the windows in the lobby, see my clerks, they'll give you a copy of the order of dismissal, and then you are free to leave. Mhm. Okay. Ask him if he can sign back onto Zoom. Mr. Redfern, is he going to sign back onto Zoom? Yeah. Okay. Remember, those microphones are very delicate. That's fine. It should pick it up from there. Has Mrs. Starkovich signed in yet?
He signed out already. He hasn't signed back in yet.
Mr. Redfern, he told you he was going to sign back into Zoom, right? Sorry? Oh, I didn't realize he was driving.
That's why we weren't able to get a hold of him in his office. Trying to get asked after he was done here. Okay, let me see your back yet. And Mr. Timothy? He's good?
I would think so.
Okay. Mark him on.
Everybody? Mr. Yost, you want to go ahead and come up to the desk up here? That way we can get started as soon as he's ready. Also, I think there's a pad and pen that you can use at your discretion right up here in the front corner. Right there. Yeah. That's up to you. I just wanted to let you know it was there for your use if you wanted it. All right, Mr. Redford, we're going to go ahead and reset this for another pretrial conference. Mr. Starkovich, are you there?
I am, Your Honor.
Do you have a date in mind?
Judge, I don't have any upcoming dates at Commerce City, so
right.
just let me know what dates you have coming up.
I could do Thursday, August 19th at 1:15. Does that work for you?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Redfern, if you'll go to the windows in the lobby and see my clerks, they're going to give you the notice of the new court date and time. It's going to be on Thursday, August 19th at 1:15 in the afternoon. Please get here on time, or if you're going to appear by Zoom, work that out with Mr. Starkovich, okay? All right, go to the windows, see my clerk.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Starkovich. We'll get that to you by email soon.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know where the rest of the file went. That's a paper file, I believe, isn't it? Didn't even look.
No, it's an EM.
Okay, that's fine. All right, court's on the record in case number EM 6571, scheduled for a trial to the court regarding Timothy Yost. Mr. Gollin, are the people prepared to proceed? Mr. Yost, are you Okay, well, give me a second. Mr. Yost, this matter is scheduled for a trial to the court today. I was about to ask if you're prepared to proceed, but Mr. Gollin says you have a motion you want to make? Is it e-filed or something?